Well, good morning and welcome to Zen Fits here in Blackstone, Virginia, the center of the world where nothing fits, but then everything fits. You know, that moment, the Zen, I'm going to speak again about Zen Fits just for a moment because it's really the crux, the root of awakening. We all have these Zen fits where, damn, nothing fits. I can't get it to go together. I can't get the damn parts to put together. I can't find out where I am. I can't get it to fit. I can't get it to go. There it is. Boom. Now everything fits. It's like the missing piece. Can't get that missing piece, that missing word. Oh, if I could just, it's on the tip of my tongue. It's on the tip of my tongue. We do all the time, we know it, but we can't get to it. It's on the tip of the tongue. Nothing fits until I find that tip, till I find that word, till I find that piece, till I find that idea, that insight. Nothing fits, and then suddenly, everything fits. So life is history. Is one Zen fit after another. You can look at it on the large scale or the everyday scale of just you in the house trying to get this damn box to fit. Or this puzzle to fit, or this crossword. We create Zen fits for entertainment. You know, my life likes crossword puzzles. I don't take much stock in them. My crossword puzzle is life, my everyday life. I don't have to create any. I'm always in a Zen fit, you see, in my daily life. And I'm always discovering the fit when nothing fits. So I've been watching, as you know, I've been watching Apocalypse Now, revisiting it after decades, and suddenly I'm seeing it for the first time. And suddenly, the feeling that nothing fits in that movie is fitting, but it's not a final fit. It's not the final nail on the coffin, and I can put it away. I can put the movie away and say, everything fits. I know what this movie's about. Got another movie? No. A deep movie is one that is always unfitting and fitting, is always revealing more not fitting, and when a not fit is revealed, a new fit is revealed. You can't have a fit. You can't have everything fits until you have nothing fits. So these go together. Nothing fits and everything fits. There's a gap between them, and that gap is where we suffer. Nothing fits. There's no meaning here. In America, nothing fits in America anymore. Everything is not fitting. And we want to restore the fit. That's why Trump got elected. He promised to restore the fit, make everything fit. You see, I'm the one who can do it. He said it. I'm the one who can make everything fit. So the people who felt nothing fits were attracted. We're attracted to the Savior. We're attracted to the plumber, to the mechanic who, I can make this fit. I can get your plumbing working. I can make it fit. Okay, how much do you want? Or I can make your life fit. So go to a therapist. Or you go to a priest. But the thing is, we go because nothing fits and we can't find the fit. And then suddenly, everything fits. But in life, as soon as everything fits, something else doesn't fit. So history is one damn unfit after another. Churchill said that. History is one damn thing after another. What's a damn thing? It doesn't fit. That damn thing won't fit. Pounding the square peg in the round hole. Boom, 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 boom. It won't fit. Fit, damn it, fit. So Apocalypse Now creates an unfitness, unfitting It doesn't fit. Why? These American military coming in on helicopters, wah, 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 down onto this peaceful, idyllic, primitive society of rice paddies, little villages, and a tiger in the jungle, and the river, and the American culture is coming down, wah, 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 playing Wagner. Watching playgirls. You know, this American culture was brought down on top of this primitive Vietnam culture, this eternal culture. Vietnam was portrayed in the movie as an eternal culture. Never changes. The little villages, the rice paddies, the peaceful paradise, Pandora. And the American culture comes in, wow, 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 and sees the peaceful villagers as slopes. But that was the whole contradiction of them. Nothing fits. The movie doesn't fit. And if you look at the movie like that, you keep getting deeper. As once you say, oh, I know what it is. It fits now. What else is new? Well, you've just put a coffin on understanding. You just nailed coffin down on your understanding. And you never got to the root of it, which is the root in our life, in your life, why nothing fits. The movie is about, at the deepest level, which is where I kind of like been going here with this movie, which I keep bringing it back up like a hairball. so a hairball is where you can't get, you got something that won't fit, so the cat knows how to do it. It coughs it up. But we just keep coughing with it, can't fit. So if you cough the hairball up, you suddenly see why it doesn't fit. Anyway, forget the hairball. Everybody says, oh, he's talking about hairballs. No, we're talking about getting to the root of why my life doesn't fit. We get temporary reprieves. Oh, it fits now. I got a new job. Wow, everything's great. Oh, this boss is evil. I got to get a new job. Fall in love. Oh, this is great forever. Oh my God. She's playing around. Nothing fits. So where do we get to the root of it, you see? So today's talk is the Alchemy of Horror. Now, what always puzzled me about the apocalypse now was the horror. So this was like Colonel Kurtz's big secret. It's like he was given a vow or a spell had been cast over him, and he was stuck at the headwaters of the river in this never land. He couldn't go back, he couldn't go forward, he was stuck. It looked like the land of death. They looked like zombies there, and there were people being crucified on posts, and it was very ambiguous. It was light and dark, death and life. You didn't know what was going on. He was beyond the pale. He was stuck there, like a fairy tale, like somebody had been a spell cast on them, and they had to stay in this hell, you see, until somebody came to rescue them. So I was reminded of Indiana Jones, which is about the Grail story, and the Grail Knight, the knight who is to guard the Grail, was in this cave with the Gale castle. He was in the Grail castle forever to guard the Grail until another Grail Knight came to relieve him of his vow and let him be free. And so Kurtz was kind of like the Grail, who had to protect this vow, the secret, the horror. What is that secret? You see, and Captain Willard was given the mission to go to the headwaters, to go beyond the pale, and free Colonel Kurtz from the spell of the horror. The horror. He couldn't get past the horror. Kurtz was stuck at the gate of horror. And that brings me to Zen this morning. Because in Zen, it is said that the patriarchs create a barrier that the hero, the aspirant, the one who would be awakened, must pass through. Most don't go through. It's like in the fairy tales, the dragon who guards the treasure in the cave, you see, or the virgin or whatever. But the hero has to get past the dragon. That's standard stuff. He has to get past the barrier. In Hinduism, you got to get past Ganesh. You got to get past the threshold barrier. But the threshold guardian, in religion, Hinduism particularly, well even in Genesis, you know, so what does God do? But he kicks man out of the garden, and he puts two cherubs up in front of the Garden of Eden, which is awakening, or your innocence, or is home. It puts a barrier up there to keep you from getting back home. So you're just wandering in circles through history. Cursed. So man was cursed. Not by, well, he was cursed by being kicked out of the garden, and he couldn't get back because there were two cherubs guarding the gate. Couldn't find the gate back into the home, you see. So we're all trying to get home. Now Kurtz, you see, was going home, but he got stuck at the gate. The horror, the dragon, death, horror, you see, got stuck there. Couldn't go back, couldn't go forward. He couldn't get through the horror. Couldn't get through the horror. So you see, we're trying to play with this here. We're trying to dig down here and get beneath the movie. You know, if the movies like Life of Pi and Avatar, if they're just a movie, forget it. You just nailed it in a coffin and buried it and said, okay, I know what it is, let's go. But know how deep you get, you see, as long as you think, oh, I know what it means, let's move on. You got a new movie? As soon as we say that, we've nailed it down, and we think I know, and we never go deep enough. We never go down to the horror. We never get to the root, not of the movie, but of me, of you. The root is in you, you see. The horror is in you. The horror is in me. So what is this horror? It's death. We don't want to go through death. We stop there. We stop. Turn back. Turn back to what we know. See, death is horrible because you can't know what it is. There's no way to know what death is. There's no way. It's unknowable. It's unknowable. It's beyond consciousness. You can't go there with your personality. You can't go there and say, oh, this is interesting. You see? It's unknowable. And that's the horror, because we only feel certain and safe in what we know. So we stay with what we know, going round and around and around and around. We never go through the barrier. We never break through, and the horror was set up there to keep you from going through it. But only a few. These are the heroes, the saviors, the saints, the prophets, the masters, the yogi masters, the Zen masters. You see, these are those who have gone through the barrier and come back to point to it. They can't tell you what it is because it's unknowable. But the horror is the barrier that stops us from going. We get close to it. Oh, this kitchen is too hot. And we turn around and go back to what we know. You see. So who walks on coals? Who walks on the fire? Who walks on the water? Who penetrates? Who goes, all in the mythologies, you got the treasure is behind the veil, behind the waterfall. Got to go through the waterfall. But the waterfall is a mirror that just reflects. So you think it's solid. You think reality is, we're walled into reality. We can't penetrate the wall. We can't stick our hand through the barrier. A lot of magicians do that, you see. Suddenly, you stick your hand, oh, and it's a miracle. He's sticking his hand through the wall, going through the barrier. Well, the barrier was an illusion, but we think it's real, so we don't penetrate it. Whoa, getting out of here. Whoa, come back, you see. Turn around. Whoa, get back. It's too hot. Can't go through that. But we're curious. If the curious mind, well, is it real? And you go, whoa, it's not real. It's not real. So this is kind of like what alchemy is. Alchemy is a medieval science. It's more poetic, metaphysical, but more poetic than our science. Our science is not poetic. You know, materialism and science is very rational. It's not poetic. That's why the science of the Middle Ages was dumped, because it's not real. Okay. So you see, modern science turned away from the horror, the ambiguity, and just stayed with the realm of the known. We can know everything. We can know everything. You see, eventually, given enough computer power, we'll know everything. We don't have to go through the horror. It's not even there. You see, everything is known. But the horror keeps us from going to the unknowable. And who is the unknowable? You. You're unknowable. I'm unknowable. We're all unknowable. But we want to be known. Oh, well, I'm a husband. I'm a wife. I'm a plumber. I'm this or that. Or I'm a nobody. I'm no good. That's known. You know, whatever we're good or bad, beautiful or ugly, either one is okay because we're known. I'm certain I'm this, not that. So that's within the realm of the known. And it's a dual world, you see. It's good or bad, up or down, this or that, double bind. Wow, 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 wow. We don't go through the barrier, you see. So getting to the end of this, if there is an end to it, the Apocalypse Now, I had my final insight, which I'm still working on now, was that the end of the movie ends in a sacrifice, not only of Kurtz, but of the buffalo. At the same time, juxtaposed next to each other, we got this primitive, these natives or primitive tribe, or just a tribe, sacrificing this buffalo. Hinduism does this. It's right out on the street. The buffalo is dressed up as a god. The buffalo was fed and fattened and worshipped as a god, selected from the herd and made as a god, draped in god stuff, beads and lace and all that, you see. And then it was chopped up, bleeding, the blood on the ground. Blood on the ground, you see. Their sacrifice. The bull was killed, just like in the Spanish bullfights. Sacrifice of the bull. Sacrifice of the bull. The bull is the consort of the goddess because of the horns. The double bind. We call it the horns of the dilemma. So the sacrifice of the bull is the killing of the dilemma. Is the cow jumping over the moon, the cow jumping over the double bind, the cow jumping over the heart. So the sacrifice of the bull, say, oh no, that's horrible. Oh no, the horror of the heart, it's death. Oh no, don't eat meat. Don't eat the bull, don't eat the bull. Don't kill, be good, be good. You see. But life is horrible. Life is death. Life eats life to live. You think you escape from it? Well, eventually the worms will get you. So your whole life has been to feed the worms. Our whole existence, my whole life, is just so I can feed the worms. Don't you find that funny? But anyway, trying to end this talk, the horror is not realizing that life is death and death is life. This is the transmutation of Christianity. Jesus dies in order to live. But this is metaphorical. This is not about history, although it is on one level. It's history. Jesus did that in history. But if we think it's just history, we miss the point. We miss the horror. We miss the alchemy. We miss the transmutation. You see. It's just like the movie. You think it's all about, it's about war, the horror of war, you know. Well, that's a historical meaning, but that's not the meaning of the movie, the deeper meaning, the meaning that we don't want to go to because we don't want to face the horror, you see. So we don't want to face the horror that our separate sense of self has to die in order to awaken, which is life. In order to awaken my life, I have to die to my life. And where do I die to? Well, the moment. The situation. You have to die to the situation. In other words, like right now, so I turn on this camera. It's a situation. I'm standing in my foyer, in my living room. You see, it's a foyer. See, this is a historical situation. Right? But I turn that camera on, and I die to my sense of separate self who believes I'm here and you're there, and I don't know, and I'm afraid of what you're thinking about me. I'm afraid that you think I'm nuts. I'm afraid that I'll go, whoa, 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 I'm stuck in the headlights like the deer. Oh, stage fright, you see. That's the self freezing because it can't go through the horror. What is the horror? Surrender. Surrender to the moment. Surrender to your situation. If you're washing dishes, surrender to that. Don't think, oh, why am I doing dishes? I mean, this is beneath me. That's the horror. You're not going through the horror. The horror is total surrender to your situation, to what you're doing, to your relationship, to your marriage, to your kids, to your dog, to your cat, to your job. Whatever you're doing is your situation. And the horror is that we hit that and we turn away and we go, oh, this could be better. I could get a better job, a better wife, a better husband. I could get a better kid. I could get a better me. So I'll go practice Zen and get a better me. We don't go through the horror or the death of being who you are. We don't go through the horror of being exactly who you are. If you're an 86-old man living in Blackstone, if you're like, that's who I am, 86-year-old old man, I guess, when I was younger, if somebody's 86, oh, he's an old man. Now I'm it. You see. But the horror is it, you see, if I didn't face the horror of it, then I would live in the horror of being an old man. See, if I don't go through the death of the now, then I'm stuck in being, oh, I'm just an old man, my life is over, and I look at my photo album and remember the good days, look, when I was young, I'm ready to die, you see. That's the real horror. That's the real horror, because if you don't go through the horror, you're walking dead. In order to be living, alive, awake, you have to go through the barrier created by the patriarchs and the horror of being empty, of being no self. True self is no self. We'll end with that. True self is no self. That's horrible. What do you mean, no self? Well, that's death. True self is death. True self is death. That's what's the message of Jesus, for God's sakes. True self is dying on the cross of your life to the moment and accepting it. So he accepts the cross. He accepts who he is. He accepts the moment. He accepts his situation. He accepts the world he lives in. There is no better world. Can imagine one, but that's still now. That's the horror. We don't want to be who we are. we think we can be better. Thanks for dropping in. Have a Zen Fit.